AB Calculus Notecard 44, go from a graph of f prime of x to a graph of f double prime of x. This is the 44th video lesson in the series inspired by Stacy McMullen, formerly of the Dallas Independent School District, who developed this notecard system. This lesson is very similar to Notecard 43 in that the analysis will be used to graph the function f, in this case from a graph of f prime of x. But in this case, we're going to emphasize the going forward to concavity, which is f double prime of x, to find whether the function is concave up and concave down. And here we find the derivative by taking the slope of the tangent lines at each point on f prime of x. If the slope is 0 undefined, put a tick mark on the number line. If the slopes are positive, then put a positive on top of the number line for f double prime, which means concave up for f. And see what this looks like. If we take, say, a graph of f prime, and we want to go to f, we'll put f double prime here, f down below, and if we have some points where we say points A, B, and C, where the slope of f prime is 0 undefined, and there we have those. If the slopes are positive, then put a plus on top. And so if the slopes are positive, that means that f double prime is, in this case, positive. And then say we switch concavity f, okay, just for example, and then we would have in this interval between negative infinity to a, we'd have concave up, between a and b, concave down, and between b and c, concave up, and greater than c, less than infinity, concave down. And these curved shapes would be used to sketch the graph of f. So let's go ahead and look at the pieces here. For 1 and 2, sketch f on the same coordinate plane. And if you looked at the note card lesson for number 43, you would have seen this same graph. And what we're looking at is, I'm going to put the line here, f double prime, and we'll put f down below. And again, our analysis piece at the upper right, if we have f prime, f double prime. So if you've gone through the lesson series so far, you've seen this several times. Okay, then the last one's concave up, concave down. And for f prime, we're going to be positive, negative, increasing, decreasing. And then lastly, for f double prime, we're plus and minus. And so what we're doing is looking at a graph of f prime, and specifically where we are increasing or decreasing. F double prime is going to be correspondingly positive or negative, and the graph of f will be concave up or accordingly concave down. And so what we do is we look to the graph above, and I like putting these number lines just in line. And so I go here about, it says put tick mark, I'm going to say negative 0.2. And then I'm going to put another tick mark. And it looks like this is going to be about, we'll say 1.2. And so we look where the slope of f prime is either 0 or undefined, and these are the only two places that we see that. And so accordingly, if f prime is increasing, which is right here on this chart, we know that we put a plus sign up here between negative infinity to x equals -2, -0.2. And then between -0.2 and 1.2, the graph of f prime is decreasing, so we're going to put a negative sign in this interval here. And then to the right of 1.2, we see f prime increasing, which we put a plus sign here. And what that means as far as concavity, we associate this plus sign with this concave up. So we have concave up on this interval here, and likewise on this interval here. And then between -0.2 and 1.2, we have concave down. So that's really the emphasis of this lesson here. And I'm going to next draw another piece where I'm going to put f prime up here and f below. And here we look at the critical numbers, and that would be, I only see one of them where the graph of f prime touches or crosses the x-axis. I only see this here at about 1.8. And then up until 1.8, the f prime is below the x-axis. So we're going to be decreasing all the way to 1.8. And then we are at 1.8, we go above the x-axis. So we'll be increasing from this piece on. And now we have, over the intervals, what we need. And before drawing the graph of f, I'm going to draw one more piece, one more analysis piece. And if you go back to note card 43, I think problem number 2 on the note card 43 lesson is the same as this one here, number 1 here. And if you kind of look at this circle here that's sectioned off by the x and y axes. If the function is decreasing and concave down, I'm going to put a minus here. And in the lower right, the function, if you take this curved piece here, starting here and going up this way, we're going to be concave, will be increasing in concave up, so plus. And then to the upper left, we have increasing but concave down. And then on the lower left, we are decreasing but concave up. So these are the general shapes of the graph that we're going to make as we sketch f on this same coordinate plane. And we are increasing over most of the interval all the way up to x equals 1.8. So I'm going to start up here someplace just to have room on this to graph on this whole thing. So let's see what's happening. We start out negative, positive, because concave up, decreasing, concave up, all the way to -0.2. So decreasing concave up is going to look like this one on the lower left. And so we're going to go all the way to -0.2, like this. So I'm going to make a little mark here, and then we are decreasing concave up. So we're going to say it's going to look like this, okay? Now next, between negative 0.2 and 1.2, we are negative negative, which is going to be this piece here in the upper right, which is decreasing and concave down. And we go all the way to 1.2. So I'm going to mark this at 1.2 about here, and it can be kind of arbitrary. So we're decreasing, but concave down over this interval. Let me get a little bit better picture of that. Okay. Next, between 1.2 and 1.8, we are negative and positive, which means between 1.2 and 1.8, negative positive looks like this lower left. And we're going to come to about 1.8, which I'm going to mark right here. So we're going to go like this. Okay? And then from 1.8 on, we're going to be positive, positive, which is going to be like this lower right piece, like this. So this is the sketch of our graph, estimated of f of x. And sometimes you're going to be given also a one coordinate pair of f to give you some place to start and all that. But there we go. Let's go on to problem 2. Okay, it's going to be the same type of analysis. I'm going to make our sketches up here, or f prime, f double prime. So we have plus, minus, increasing, decreasing, concave up, concave down. And then we have plus, minus, increasing, decreasing, and then plus, minus at the very far right of this f double prime row. So I'm going to draw a number line below and put f double prime above and f below. And we're going to go to the graph of f prime and see where we have, where f prime of x is either the slope of f prime of x is either 0 or undefined. And we see we have a number here at negative 2. The slope of f prime is 0. And then also at 0, the slope of f prime is 0, and then at positive 2. Okay, and then again, we're looking at this far right, these three pieces here. Okay, we are, f prime is increasing all the way up to x equals negative 2, meaning that f double prime is positive, and then between negative 2 and 0, the graph of f prime is decreasing, so we're going to put a negative sign here, and then between 0 and 2, the graph of f prime is increasing, and then to the right of 2, the graph of f prime is decreasing. And then we're just going to make the little sketches here below: concave up, concave down, concave up, concave down. Okay, and now one more number line, and we're going to look for the critical numbers here where f prime of x is equal to 0. And we see that occurring here at x equals -3 and also at x equals 3. And then this is going to be f prime above and f below. And let's go see what's happening. To the left of x equals -3, f prime is negative. Between -3 and 3, f prime is above the x-axis or positive. And greater than 3, we have f prime again below the x-axis, which means that to the left of -3, f is decreasing. To the right, between -3 and 3, f is increasing. And then to the right of 3, f is decreasing. And then we're going to be able to use our pieces here of our circle, just like we did in problem 1 in earlier video lessons. We have this circle here representing an XY coordinate plane, curves. We have decreasing concave down, lower right, increasing concave up. And then we have decreasing concave up in the lower left, and we have increasing concave down. And so we can take our analysis piece, and we're going to be pretty evenly increasing and decreasing. We're going to be increasing for a lot of this function, but decreasing for this piece up to here. So I'm going to start about here, I guess, and we're going to decrease and be concave up here until -3, right? So decreasing concave up is going to be negative, positive, and here's negative, positive, this piece here. So we're going to go to -3. I'm going to target this piece right here, okay? So we're decreasing concave up, so something like this. Okay, that's that piece of graph there. Next, between -3 and -2, we are now increasing, but we are still concave up. So that's going to be a plus plus. So until -2, we're going to be plus plus, and I'm just going to put a little mark right here. And what does plus plus look like? This piece in the lower right. So we're going to go like this. Okay. And now between -2 and 0, we're going to be plus minus, which means increasing, but concave down. Okay. Plus minus. It's going to be this looking piece right here. So that's going to be up until 0. So it's going to be quite a stretch. So I'm going to go all the way up to here. So we are increasing, but concave down. Okay. And to the right of 0, we are increasing, but concave up. So we're continuing to increase, but now we're going to be concave up. Okay, and so between 0 and 2, we're plus plus. What does plus plus look like? This piece in the lower right again. So that'll be all the way to 2. So we'll say like this. Plus plus like this. Okay, something like that. Okay. And then between 2 and 3 will be plus minus, which is going to be this upper right piece, upper left piece. So we'll be increasing but concave down, so something like this. increase from concave down. And lastly, will be minus minus, which is going to be this piece in the upper right. So we're going to just go like this. And really that's it. Again, curve sketching, which is video lesson 42, video lesson 43, very similar to this one. This type of analysis, it's quite counterintuitive, which is why these charts and tools and really help us see what's going on and make a conceptually correct graph. I hope this has been helpful to you. Good luck, and thanks for viewing.